Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? I hope your day's been fantastic. Hey, I'm back now to show you how I'm going to use the leftover apple pulp. So some of you guys watched me make the apple juice earlier, which was amazing. Used it, so we kept 300, or was it 400? No, 300 grams, because that's going to make the birch muesli tomorrow, which was why I made it. But then we shared the rest out, put some soda water and some water on it, and it was amazing. It is still amazing. I kind of got distracted and left it on the table, so I've got a little bit to show you guys. But for those of you who are watching along earlier, it actually made I think it was about, I did actually measure it, it was about 600, just short of 600 grams. So from 1 kilo of apples you get about 600 grams of juice out of it, and then you get this amazing pulp which is up the back here. So I thought, what can I do with it? Now normally I'd make plaquettes or something, but I thought I'm going to be a little bit different. I'm going to have a go at this peach and plum fruit cobbler, which normally obviously has peaches and plums in the bottom of it. But I thought I'm going to use this pulp now, and I'm actually going to make the beautiful what is like a cake that goes on top of the cobbler to then go in the oven to finish off. So I thought I'd show you today how to do the cobbler. So do say hi if you're watching today. Now this is the pulp. It's quite interesting, the pulp. Let's have a turn of this camera so you might see a little bit of what's happening in here. It's quite an interesting leftover product, and you can see the oxidization that's happened on top of it as it's been sitting there. So it has been sitting on the bench for a little while now, just in the simmering basket like it was. So you can see that there. Alright, let's give this a push out. So obviously the texture is going to be a little different to normal, because normally you've got diced up fruit, not pulverized pulp, but doesn't matter. I don't think the kids are going to mind one bit. So, alright, push that down a little bit. I might make a few indents in it later so that it kind of absorbs some of the cakey mix, because really what a cobbler is it's fruit underneath and then cake on top. So that's what it is. So I'm going to kind of put some holes in it, and then the cake will soak into it, which will give it a bit of texture as well. Okay, back here. So I'm basing it on this recipe. How good is cookie dough? I didn't know 10 minutes ago what I was going to use it for. I thought, oh, I might do pikelets. They're kind of standard. And then I was going to freeze the leftovers, and I was like, oh, I don't feel like freezing it and putting more in the freezer. And hence I started looking, and this is one of the things that came up. So it doesn't actually, I don't think it has apple juice in it, which is why it actually was flagged as relevant, but it doesn't actually particularly have the apple pulp in it. So let's get cooking. The first thing we're going to do is preheat the oven, and then we're going to skip over, oh gosh, mine has made a funny sound. You know why it's made the next sound? Because we've just had the software update. I don't know if you guys have had yours roll out yet, but when I swipe sideways, it's so exciting. We now don't have to swipe over another third screen. We can actually just scroll down, and you can see them all there. How good is that? So that is really cool. You'll also see that the pre-clean looks a little different. Where's the pre-clean? Up here. Pre-clean has a kind of different layout now, which is pretty cool. So it's a bit glary, but that's an approximate time there. And the other one that's different is your egg boiler. Has a different look to it as well, similarly. So that's pretty exciting. Love that Thermomix keeps getting better. So because of the software update, my next button has come back alive. So you can turn your next button off. So those of you with a TM6, let me show you how to do that. So go to our little 3 lines called a hamburger, which is our menu up the top. Go to settings, go to sounds, and then you need to slide your slider all the way down to off. There we go. Now we go next, and it should be all good now. So line and muffin tray. Now hang on, I don't need to do these beginning steps, or do I? Which is it doing first? No, I do. This is actually a cake mix. This is the part I need to do. Now, it's got a bucket load of sugar. I am going to tame it down. It's already got this beautiful apple pulp on the bottom, so I don't need that much sugar. So I am going to use rice malt, which I'm just looking for. I'm sure it was on the bench a second ago right here. That'll be right, and now I can't find it right when I want it. It's probably right in front of me. That's alright. If all else fails, open another jar. So rice malt is my go-to. When I can swap it, I will, because it makes my tummy a lot happier. So, because it's fructose free. So it's just like a syrup. So let's put that in. But obviously you could use raw sugar, whatever you would normally use. Now I'm going to pull this down to 100. I figured that 100 per recipe is more than enough sweetener in anything if it's going to be a family size serve. So it is very sticky. By the way, those of you who are newly watching along, I use this in the place of most liquid sweeteners as well. So it's calling for honey, or it's calling for golden syrup or maple. I'll be using that as well. Okay, Okay, normally it would be milling down. If it was a powdered sugar, you're going to mill it down to icing sugar. 3 seconds, speed 10. So it's going to kind of come to a caster, really, not an icing sugar. Now it's got butter, a whole lot of butter, 350 grams of butter. And it says soft. Mine's not soft. It's just come out the fridge. Say hi if you're on today, by the way. Have you planned what you're having for dinner at your house? I have not. So, not organised tonight whatsoever. It may be a leftover night. It might be a matter of what's in the freezer for us here. And I'm going to the gym, so it also might be a, hey, hubby, have fun, cook them something. We'll see. The go-to for the kids is usually the creamy tomato salami fettuccine recipe, and we don't necessarily use salami in it, don't even necessarily use much tomato. We bulk it out with other vegetables. Or risotto is also the other one that the kids really enjoy, and that's kind of our, there's nothing to eat, risotto it is. So we'll see what happens there, but I think I'll be leaving hubby in charge of that tonight. And then when I get home, we'll have something else. I don't know what. So we'll see. Hey Sharon, lovely to have you on. Beef ragu, yum. Sounds amazing. All right. I know I've got some bags still in the freezer from camping last time. I didn't use them all. So I might be pulling one of those out because they defrost really, really quickly. Which is great. All right, there we go. There's our butter in. Some self-raising flour. Now, you guys know my trick. I don't buy self-raising flour. I use plain. I'm using gluten-free plain today. And we're going to put baker's powder in it. Baking powder to make it self-raising. That's the trick. So, and it's 1 teaspoon per 500, not 500, please don't do that. 1 teaspoon per 100 grams is what I meant to say. So if you're putting in 250 grams like we are today, it's going to be 2.5 teaspoons. Okay. Nearly there. And that's the same whether it's gluten-free or non-gluten-free. Okay. Nearly there. That'll do. So 2.5 teaspoons. This is the rising in there. 1, 2, and a little half. Now, by the way, I haven't washed my bowl out. You guys probably can't see that, but I've actually left the apple pulp that was still in there from earlier. I just left it sitting there. I figured it wouldn't matter if it flavoured this a little bit. 4 medium eggs, which I've cracked, ready to go. And this might be it. Pinch of salt. Where's the salt? Here it is. And next. So with the lid. Next. And it's got 20 seconds speed 9. Let's give it a spin. I reckon it's going to need a scrape down. It sounds like it's going to be spinning so much it spins to the sides. Maybe. Let's see how we go. Perfect time to put your ingredients away so your kitchen's clean at the end. Didn't stick to the sides like I thought it was going to. All right, scrape down the sides, insert the measuring cup. So that's just dropping things around today. So you can see the flours all come up the sides. Let's just give it the scrape down. We don't want to let that go to waste. Mine's also stuck up the sides even further because I had that apple stuck there still. So it's got something there to stick to. All right, let's finish it off. 10 seconds, speed 9. Let it spin. Off it goes. Okay, I mentioned I was going to put holes in this. I am just putting holes in it with my finger, a bit like I would Fruity Dream. Not Fruity Dream. Pizza Bianca at a demo. Those of you who've had a demo. No, I would say set aside and we get your fruit ready. We don't need to do the fruit part. We've already got that sorted. So now we are just going to spread this on top. It just looks like a cake batter. Let's give you guys a spin round. Let's move that down out of the way. Okay, in it goes. And then this is going to go in the oven and it's going to cook. And it doesn't cook for very long. Let me just check the timing on this before you guys go. But fabulous way to use up that pulp, making something a little bit different. I've never made a cobbler before, first time making a cobbler, and I love that with the Thermomix. We can find new recipes all the time to use up the things that we wouldn't otherwise know how to use, but also just new recipes full stop. Like, how good is it that there's always more recipes to do with the Thermomix? So I would never have thought, like even this morning, I would never have thought to have done a cobbler with the leftover pulp ever. So let's have a look down. Let me just tell you how long it cooks for. So it's going to go into an oven. Oh, it says 40 to 45 minutes. There we go. And it's cooking for quite a while. I'll probably check it at about half an hour point. I guess it depends on how thick your cake mix is on top. Mine does look like it's fairly thick, gotta say. But that could also be the container you're using. So I just worked with what I've got. But I will show a picture at the end. I will also let you know about how long I do end up cooking it for. I'll insert a skewer. That's always my go-to. Two things. First, we'll touch the top. If it bounces back, it's pretty cooked. If I'm still hesitant, get a skewer and insert it in. Just a tip with this one is don't get it down to the apple, because the apple will be soft. So, by the way, is this not the most amazing cake batter you've ever seen? I love that. I mean, we don't do cake very often here at all, but totally impressed by that. That batter would be something that, as a kid, I just remember using a wooden spoon or a hand mixer to get that kind of consistency. And here we are doing it in, 40 seconds. How good is that? How awesome is the Thermomix? So, here we go, finishing up. I know I'm preaching to the converted, but isn't it amazing? So that'll be it now. I'm going to put that in the oven, cook that, take a picture of it, and share that with you and tell you how long it actually cooked for. Because maybe we'll need 45 minutes, I don't know, but I'm wondering how thick whether that thickness needs it. But otherwise, guys, have a fantastic afternoon. Let me know if I can help with anything regarding your Thermomix. If you'd like demos, if you need me to help you with recipes, conversions, questions, those sorts of things, I love talking Thermomix with you. Take care, and I'll be back here tomorrow to inspire you more with the recipes, or with more recipes. Tomorrow is Bircher Muesli, so I'm excited. First time making that. Excited to share that with you guys. So have a great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.
Mommy.